Okay, that's I planted those lettuce just there, and these were about 8 days ago I planted these. So with my system, with the sawdust, I can actually pull these out and check them out, see how well they're all growing. A bit of damage there from the wet weather. We just had about 300 mils of rain over the last 2 weeks, so I can just put that lettuce back in there now and he'll grow happily. Okay, now this one's about 4 weeks old and it's ready to be harvested, so pull him out like that. Take the sawdust. All that sawdust is put down the bottom and reused. And we grow our mint and watercress in there. So I'll put that in a box and take it up to the shed. But I'll do that tomorrow, so I can just whip him back in there now. And he'll stay nice and fresh for us. Okay, so we talked about the top system. That's the system with the T-tape. We've got the bottom system, which there's holes in here which drip down into the second system. And then wherever I've got a hole down the bottom here, I just put chili plants in buckets. And they just feed off that. So I've actually got 3 systems growing there off the one feed.
Okay, so today we're going to cook some simple dishes which we use our produce for. So all the produce that we use in the dishes is either grown here on our farm or it's sourced from local producers. And to start with, I'm going to be making a mushroom and herb omelette. It's just a simple dish, it's delicious and it's very good for you. So we just pop some butter into the pan. Just swirl that around. You can use oil, of course, if you want to, but I really like butter, so I use that. And then we just cook our mushrooms. I've already sliced them up. These are button mushrooms that we get from a mushroom farm at Stanmore, which is just near Woodford, where our farm is. Now Rosie's just chopping up some herbs there. I've just gone and picked some flat leaf parsley and some thyme because I like those flavours. You can use any flavours that you want. Okay, so when we're cooking the mushrooms, we don't want to overcook them. You don't want all the juice to come out of them. You want them to remain nice and juicy. So we just stir them around, cook them slowly. You can see that they're starting to brown up there. They're so delicious, button mushrooms. They're really versatile too. You can use them in lots of dishes. We really believe that it's important to make your own food. It's really important to use the vegetables and the fruit that you have got locally. It's recommended that we eat 5 cups of vegetables and 2 cups of fruit per day. Now 5 cups of vegetables is, as you can imagine, quite a lot, and so it's important to combine your vegetables in with other dishes so that you can actually get that allowance. Okay, those mushrooms are done. Okay, so I'm just going to, now that the mushrooms are almost cooked, we'll just pop the herbs in. Rosie, can you pop them in for me? Thank you, darling. Now, you want a reasonable amount of herbs. A lot of people underuse herbs, especially fresh herbs. So when you're using fresh herbs, you want to put a reasonable amount in there, or else you really won't get the flavour. Okay, so we'll just pop those in there. Ready to put in our omelette. Now, with our omelette, we're using the Delaney's Creek pasture-raised eggs, which are grown by, well, the chickens are grown by friends of ours at Delaney's Creek. And but there is a bit of confusion about how eggs are classified. You really, if you're interested in eggs that are raised, chickens that enjoy the best conditions, you really need to look for pasture-raised. You have free-range eggs, which of course don't really satisfy the criteria that a lot of people have for eggs. So pasture-raised is the way to go. They're chickens that are out in the open. They forage around in the pasture and you have a really balanced diet, and as you can imagine, that results in a superior flavour to your eggs and better nutritional value too. So 2 eggs into a bowl. Just going to whisk them up there. I'll get Rosie to whisk those up.
Sure thing.
So when you're making omelettes, you just need to, you don't want to overmix the eggs. Give them a good whisk and combine the egg whites and the yolks, of course. When I'm making omelettes, I actually always put a little dash of soy sauce in it. I know that's not the traditional omelette making method, but it just gives it a bit extra flavour. So I just add a little dash of light soy sauce there. That's about a teaspoonful in there. And we mix that up. We put our cooker on again. Actually, we pop a little bit of water in there as well. So about a dessert spoon of water to 2 eggs. And we pop our cooker on again. Just let that pan heat up a minute. I'm just going to pop a little bit more butter in there. As I say, if you don't want to use butter, if you're watching your cholesterol, you can of course use oil. Olive oil is always a really good option. So now we just pour that in once the pan's heated, which it has. Pour that omelette mixture in there and we just want to swirl it round so that the pan is coated. When you're making omelette, you really need to just pull it away from the edges gently like that so that the uncooked portion of the egg runs onto the edge and it all cooks nice and evenly. That really makes a nice fluffy omelette. Okay, so we're just going to let that even out a bit and cook there for a minute. Omelettes are so easy to make, they're so quick and they're so nutritious and they really are a meal. This is a meal for one person. Obviously you can put all sorts of fillings into omelettes or you can just have a plain omelette, whatever you fancy really. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen that up from the edges there.
And you can see on the top of the omelette as well that we've left a little bit of the egg uncooked, so you don't cook it fully through. If you do that, it tends to be a little bit rubbery. Yeah,
so omelettes, you really want omelettes to be light and soft. Okay, so we're going to put our mushroom filling into the middle third of the omelette. Down like that. That looks good, doesn't it? As I say, you can make all sorts of different fillings, whatever you really want to. And then we're going to fold that over there. And we're also going to fold this other edge over as well. And there we have a mushroom omelette. And I'm just going to pop it on a plate. Nothing difficult, nothing that takes you too long. We're all time poor. We need to have food that's nutritious and simple. And here's our omelette.
Okay, when we're picking our tomatoes, we're looking for a real full red colour, so the sugars are full in the fruit and they're nice and sweet. There's something like that. Nice and firm, that one there. A lot of growers and that'll pick these fruit here, and to me, they're nowhere near ready on the vine, so you need that really dark red colour. There's a couple back here. And that gives the other ones a bit of room and space to grow and colour up as well. Okay, these are our eggplants and we'll just harvest the ones we need to. This one here can grow a little bit more. This one here is ready. We'll just take him off and his mate there. So we've got those there. And we'll leave a bit of room now and a bit of growth for these other ones. Okay, this is our homegrown celery down in here. So we just pull that out of there. Knock all that sawdust back into there because that's all going to break down and be wonderful, wonderful compost. We just pull that up like that. Just pull these ones off. And then there you have it. We'll take it into the table. Here's our celery. Okay, these spring onions here, or shallots, we like to eat them like this size because they're really sweet. But they've probably got another week in them, another week and a half, and they'll be ready for sale at the markets. But for our own table, we prefer them just like that. So this is our lemongrass, which we've got planted everywhere through the garden here. When harvesting lemongrass, you're always going to the centre and twisting and pulling out. Be careful of the grass itself, because it'll slice your hand open. So you just go in, find a good solid one, twist it and pull it out. And there I've got 2 or 3. I've got 2 or 3 there, so I'll pull these off, and these are for planting, but this one here is for eating. So I'll just strip that back. Chop the end off. There you go.
Alrighty, so now I'm going to show you how to make a carambola salsa. So carambolas, otherwise known as starfruit, they're grown locally. We get ours from a friend down at Wamuran, and they call them starfruit because when you cut them, they come out in a beautiful little star shape. Now carambolas, not many people know how to use them, but they're really great little fruit. They're really high in antioxidants, potassium and vitamin C. And if you're thinking, now we're leading up to winter, so you want to be getting a lot of vitamin C into your diet to ward away those nasty colds. So carambolas are from Southeast Asia region, so our salsa today is going to have a little bit of an Asian twist as well. So we're going to cut up the carambola, and I'm just going to chop off a few of the pieces on the ends, and we'll use those as a garnish later because they're so pretty.
I always thought that they were called starfruit because they taste like stars, Rosie.
No, they don't taste like
Oh,
stars
they might,
or the universe.
Yeah, I know kids always love carambolas because they're such a pretty
Yeah.
shape. I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous, isn't
It's
it?
very cute.
Really
yeah.
lovely, yeah.
They're a great little cupcake topper as well.
And you
If
can
you're
eat
into
them
baking.
just as a fruit, of course. These ones that we've got today, they're the white carambolas. So they don't actually get that deep yellow colour. They're a different variety. The earlier variety that we have had until now have been the ones that go really yellow, and they're a much sweeter variety. These are a more of a savoury sort of flavour. They've got a delicate flavour, but it's really quite refreshing and nice.
They're nice and crunchy as well.
Yeah.
They're
Aren't they?
beautiful,
I
yeah.
like them. Yeah, I like them. I think they're quite a traditional fruit in Queensland too. A lot of people call them 5 corners because of the 5 points they've got, obviously. But yeah, they're really nice. Underused, probably. They grow on large trees, big tall trees. They're quite picturesque. And as Rosie says, we get these from Wamuran.
Alrighty, so I finished chopping those up. I'll just put them in the bowl.
Salsas, you can really make a lot of. You can really use a lot of different ingredients. We're using carambola.
So we've also got some of our mini cucumbers. These are only little guys, but they're really, really nice and crisp. And they've got quite a lot of flavour for a cucumber. They don't really go so watery as some of the big ones do. So we'll throw those in there. Got some more carambolas that we cut up earlier. And we've got some of our mini capsicums. They're just these little guys. We chose to use these today because they're nice and sweet and they really help to tie all the flavours together in the dish. So we'll pop those in, and they just add a beautiful colour to the whole thing as well.
As we said, but you can really use all sorts of things. Just the thing with salsas is that you have all the ingredients chopped at about the same size, so that they all mix together well. You don't want anything overly big or small in there. Everything about the same.
Yeah, and for that beautiful red colour, we're going to pop in some of our tomatoes as well. And I'll also add some mint. And we'll just toss that around. I'm just going to add the rest of that mint because I like a lot of mint in my dish. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, mint's lovely, isn't it? So refreshing and nice.
Oops, spilled everywhere. So now we're going to make the dressing. So we're going to get some lime juice. You want to... So I've squeezed some freshly squeezed limes, which is also really high in vitamin C, of course. Pop that in there. And some fish sauce. We'll add some of that too. Now you want about a tablespoon of lime juice to a tablespoon of fish sauce. And then you want about a teaspoon of brown sugar. And you can use palm sugar or coconut sugar if you've got it. Because they're not quite as sweet as the brown sugar, you might feel that you need to add a little bit more. And our last ingredient that we're going to add to this, just to give it a bit of kick and a bit of warmth, is some chilies. So we're going to use red chili. So I'll just break that one off. We don't want the dish to be too hot, we just want a nice bit of background warmth. So I'll cut off the top and we're only going to use the end part. I'll split it down the middle. So split it down the middle and I'll get my spoon and I'm just going to scrape out all these seeds because that's what's going to make it really hot.
The actual flesh of these chilies is sort of moderately hot. If you leave, as Rosie says, if you leave the seeds in, it's really quite hot. You might prefer that. You might prefer not to put any chili in at all. As I said, salsas are really something that you can adapt to your own tastes.
And we're also going to chop that chili up really, really finely because you don't really want to get a huge chunk of chili in your mouth, especially if you're not a big chili fan. If you are a big chili fan, then you can feel free to add as many chilies as you want, really. So we'll just pop that in that dressing. Where's my lid gone? Oh, here it is.
If you don't like fish sauce, and some people don't, you could always make a dressing with just some balsamic vinegar and olive oil, or a little bit of lime juice and olive oil, and not have that fish sauce taste. If you wanted to do that, you'd probably need to put a bit of salt in it as well, because as you see we haven't added salt because the fish sauce has the saltiness.
The reason why we've chosen to use fish sauce today is because we wanted to give the dish a bit of an Asian feel, just to go with the carambolas. So we'll just give the dressing a little taste test.
Sweet enough?
I think it needs a little bit more sugar. It's always really important to taste the food that you're making as you're making it. Some limes are going to be more sour than others, and
that's right. The limes are very ripe. They'll be a little bit sweeter. So you've really got to, as Rosie says, you've really got to calculate how much seasoning you want. You really can't go far wrong with cooking. You really just got to taste as you go, and then I think you'll find that you'll be successful. Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better. I just got a mouthful of chili. They're really hot.
Nice though, aren't they?
They are nice, yeah. They're good.
They wake you up.
And the red ones have that beautiful capsicum flavour as well.
Yeah.
That nice background flavour.
Yeah, that's right. The green chilies are sharp.
Yeah, yeah.
And the red chilies are a much deeper flavour.
They're warm.
Yeah.
Okay, so just pour that.
Okay. Mix it. We really should have a spoon for this, as you probably realise.
We forgot.
We forgot to bring our spoon, so we'll mix it with a large mixing spoon.
The salsa's now finished, so we'll just serve that up into our plate.
Salsa is ideal for to have with barbecue meats, fish, something like that. Really lovely side dish.
So I'll put that.
Anything like that. That looks really lovely.
And we've got our little starfruit pieces that we saved from earlier. And so we'll just put them in a nice little pile on the edge.
Looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And tuck
It's
a
a
little bit of
beautiful
mint
dish.
in there.
Got that?
That's really nice. It's so refreshing. It's
There we
ideal
are.
Queensland sort of food. Really.